knowing where we come from Bayern Munich, Arsenal, a lot of games every 3 days, and not much recovery. But the results help us to keep going. So, I think we play a real good game, except 20-25 minutes, and when Phil and especially Bernardo came in, and after the game was better control, and a huge victory for us in this stadium against that team after where we come from.
Massively to Fulham's credit, that was a much harder game for Manchester City than the Arsenal game in the week, wasn't it? Which shows how far Fulham have come.
Do you know what? I'm a massive admirer of Guardiola and his in-game tactics, but he went 1990s football today. 4-4-2.
4-4-2.
Went long to the big man.
Yep.
Got the knockdowns for Alvarez. Got it wide. Got crosses in the box. It was a proper test.
Yeah.
It was a really good game of football. They scored after 3 minutes with a pen.
And it was a penalty, wasn't it?
100%.
Ream seems to get there and then dangle a leg, which he doesn't need.
He panics at the very last second because he knows the movement from Alvarez is just going to take it away from him. And you don't quite see it there, and you might think, it might not be a penalty. But right at the last second, you see the right knee of Ream just coming to stick out just there.
Yeah, it's a great first touch from Alvarez as well, and I think that kind of draws him in a little bit. But the penalty for me was fantastic. He hits it really, really hard. He gets his body over it, keeps it nice and low. Look how close Leno is. He completely commits to diving it.
With so much intent as well, hasn't he?
He has indeed.
Haaland.
He means it.
Yep.
And Leno's dived with everything he's got to get into the corner. He still gets nowhere near
It's like he knows because of his shape and he's left-footed. They both know which way he's going.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm still going to score.
Well, the
because
school
I
of
hit it with that
thought-
much whip.
Well, the school of thought is, and Jermaine will agree, when you practice your penalties, you're always taught to hit the side net.
Yeah.
If you hit the side net and with good pace on it,
Keepers
have
got a
got
chance.
no chance.
Look at that. 34 in Premier League equals the record of Andy Cole and Alan Shearer, who had 4 extra matches. They had 42 matches.
It's incredible.
So you've got to beat that unless something remarkable, unless he gets injured.
Well, look.
And 5-0 in all competitions.
Well, he's not Dixie Dean 63.
Oh, yeah. Our audience around the world have suddenly learned about Dixie Dean.
Don't worry,
this season.
football was invented before 1992.
That's right. Very, very good equaliser. Vinicius, terrific goal.
Yeah, it was. You can see him. He's just floating around. He's wanting to get involved. Great little run. Look at the nod down. A little bit fortunate because it hits him, but the way he connects with the ball, gets his body over the ball, absolutely hammers it. Similar to Haaland's penalty. Absolutely hammers it into the corner. No, you could have
really
any
good technique. We said about Harry Kane's volley. Good technique. Really good technique there.
Any goalkeeper in the world is getting nowhere near that. It was fantastic.
I thought they needed to do a little bit more of that. That was a sort of goal rush game today.
Go a bit more direct.
Yeah, go direct.
Yeah.
And Wilson was making good runs. And then this goal, I think he uses his football IQ
Alvarez.
massively here because he's probably looking right-hand side, but Mahrez has gone central. So originally, when you sort your feet there, if you're Alvarez, you're thinking, right, Kyle Walker, oh, no one's on. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do Kevin De Bruyne, whip it towards the top corner, starting at, 2 yards over the bar?
And Leno played brilliantly today. He needed something special to beat the keeper.
He was a busy boy, and that was exactly what was needed to beat him today. That finish was brilliant. He caught it perfectly with the instep, up and over the wall, over the defenders and the goalkeeper. No chance.
Very, very good record when you bear in mind looking at that.
And he's
From
the second
18
choice.
starts.
He's the second choice.
He's exactly.
as well.
That's my point. He's second choice, and quite often he won't start. Obviously, because you're playing Haaland and Grealish and Mahrez or whoever.
That tells me more, I think, about the character than the quality. The quality's there. That's why he played for Man City. Yeah. But to have the character to understand that you're not going to start every single game, but still be mentally tuned in
Switched
to
on
produce
as well,
those numbers.
Yeah.
So first time since mid-February, they're top, City, and with a game in hand, and they know how to win.
I don't.
Not all going well for Arsenal, is it?
No, it's not. I always stood by. I thought April was going to be difficult for Arsenal with Newcastle away to come. But you look at a win on the road today for Man City, then they can look forward to 2 home games, and you would have thought that'll be 6 points from West Ham and Leeds. Then you go into the Champions League game.
The only thing I could see from an Arsenal perspective where they can kind of get a little bit from it is City have got a lot of games. They've got almost double the amount of games. However, City are the type of team that can go on and win every single one of those. So, they would be
and the squad to deal with it, as they've shown.
Exactly.
But his in-game tactics today, Mark,
they were amazing,
I joked about 4-4-2, which he did start with. But the start of the second half, he went with 3. Went with 3 at the back, put John Stones in midfield alongside Rodri, which freed up then Gundogan. In the last 5-10 minutes of the game, he went back to a 4-4-2, started to hit channel balls, asked Foden to try and drive it in the corner and waste some time. You know, it was one of them where he probably wouldn't enjoy the performance because he's a stickler for the performance, but he'll enjoy the win, and that's the most important thing.
We all know that titles are won on that more than beating Arsenal 4-1 comfortably when you're in control.
Well, it's funny, isn't it? Because I think if you ask a Man City fan's perception at the end of the season and you say, what was the game that won you the league?
Yeah.
They'll say Arsenal.
Yeah.
And they'll forget about the 2-1 grind and win against Fulham.
Time for a quick break, but in a few moments...